Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny, we're gardening here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today's task is a big one. We've got to get all of these plants and these plants into the front foundation. So it's a huge domino of moving and planting, and so let's get this job going. This is quite the ambitious project. There is a whole domino series of things that have to happen in order for me to be able to plant all of those plants that are currently on the driveway into their final locations out here. I've got to move shrubs, I've got to take out and just not have shrubs. Lots of stuff to happen. So you might be wondering, Jenny, why are you dressed like it's October? Did we have a time travel situation? These shrubs that we're going to be moving are very prickly, and when I trimmed these lemon thread false cypresses last week, my arms got totally pricked up, and so that's been very uncomfortable. So I've learned my lesson there, and I'm covered my arms and legs so that when we're working with these things, I can be more comfortable afterward. Not during, because I'll be hot and sweaty during, but afterward. Okay, the beginning of the domino series starts, where does it start? Starts over there. These three shrubs in the center in front of this window have to come out. There's a knockout rose in there, there's a crepe myrtle shrub in there, and then there's a, I believe it's a waxleaf privet. All three of those are coming out to make room for a holly that we'll be transplanting from right there to that spot. This cherry laurel has to just come out. I don't plan on saving it. If the root ball looks like it's savable, maybe I'll save it and plant it somewhere, but that's not my prime concern. And that laurel has to come out, and the same story there. If it's savable, maybe I'll save it, but I don't have a plan for it right now. Okay, so then once these three come out, then this holly gets taken out and moved to there. And then my four little Taylor junipers will go. One of them here, and one of them right beside that rhododendron. On this side, as I've said, this holly is coming out and hopefully being transplanted under that window over there. This laurel is just coming out. This holly is staying, and this holly is coming out. And in its place, this one right here, and in the laurel's place right there will be a Taylor juniper in both of those places. Tall and skinny, 15 feet tall, 2 feet wide. Perfect. Now this holly, if I can save it, I'm going to try to plant it right beside this holly. There still will be plenty of room for the Taylor juniper there, and then I can have a hedge of holly here. So I'm going to try that, but if this holly doesn't want to be transplanted because its roots are, I'm not able to get a good root ball out of it, then I'll just sacrifice that one. And there's yet another series of dominoes that has to happen so that I can plant the two leucothui on this side. So I have a beauty berry right here. It's in the middle of its putting on its beautiful purple berries. Right now the berries are green. I really don't want to interrupt that, and I was planning to put one of the leucothuis right there, but it's going to be another 6 weeks before I really want to be moving that beauty berry at all. It does have to come out. It's too big for that spot, but I think instead of putting the leucothui there, I'm going to actually put it about somewhere in here, and then eventually I'll move those sedums to a better spot so the leucothui can grow better. But there is something else down this way that has to be moved. Let's go see. Yeah, here we go. And this is a hydrangea of some kind. I don't know. I didn't plant it. I think it's probably an endless summer, but it has never bloomed here. The deer eat the tips of it all the time. So this is going to come out, move into the backyard if I get a good root ball. If I don't get a good root ball, it's just going to come out. And then the other rainbow leucothui will go right there. This is a big job today, and I've got my trusty helper, Dave. He is going to be helping me with all of the demolition and the moving and the planting, and so big job. Let's get underway. While Dave gets underway over there with the hollies and the laurels, I'm going to get a quick win under my belt and get this hydrangea out and put in one of the leucothuis right here. Okay, that wasn't too hard. And when I pulled it out, I noticed that there are two distinct different plants in here. So I'll be able to divide this and have two hydrangeas out of this. It's going to go in the backyard somewhere. Not sure where, but we'll find a spot. This is a Leucothoi. It's a rainbow Leucothoi. I think the full name is called Gerard's Rainbow Leucothoi. This is an evergreen shrub. It has green, pink, and cream tones in it. So it's beautiful, beautiful color. It will provide winter interest, and it'll bring bright spots of color all year long so that we have a variety of coloration in the garden. As always, I'll be putting in my Biotone starter fertilizer to get these roots off to a great start. Now, I planted two of these same plants from the same nursery over on the south side of the lawn a couple days ago, and I know from that these particular plants have just been potted up from a smaller pot into these larger pots, so their root balls are not filling this bucket. So I know I don't need a huge hole in the ground over here. All right, that's one down in this very long chain of shrubs to be planted today. As I said, I wanted to originally put this Leucothoi where the beautyberry is, but the beautyberry is just now starting to put on its beautiful berries, which are gorgeous, and I love them. So I don't want to move the beautyberry until after its fall show is done. So instead, I'm going to put the Leucothoi in the spot where you see it right now. Now, right behind there is a fairy rose that I just planted this year, and I think in order to make everything fit well, I'm going to move the fairy rose out from behind there and put it kind of right here, and then I'll have space behind the Leucothoi for something taller and something I don't know, something different. That's my plan. First, I'm going to get that rose out and move it. All right, I'm pretty happy with how many roots it has put out this season. So I'm hoping that by moving it, I won't shock it too much, but that it'll recover and be beautiful right up front. And hey, look at this. This was left behind in the planting hole, and I'll be able to plant this and get a brand new fairy rose out of that. So that's a bonus win. Okay, that is two shrubs in their place. Yes, making good progress this morning. I think progress may slow down a little bit from here on out, but let's see. Oh, also, I haven't planted that hydrangea or that fairy rose little start yet. They're sitting over here in the shade, waiting for me to care for them. I may or may not make it today. We'll see. All right, so let's check in with Dave, see how he's doing. He's working on this laurel, and I guess your method is just to chop it down with the loppers.
Hopefully that was the right answer.
Yes, perfect answer. So, you know, we're just trying to be educational and stuff, you know, try to help people. So our method here is, if we don't want the shrub, then just be ruthless. And I think he's chopping it up in the bag because it's easier to deal with at the compost pile if they're smaller pieces. And so once he gets these all chopped down, probably, I think we're going to dig out the root ball and see what we got. Hey, while we're over here, Dave's working on that laurel. Look, Mary Rose, she got transplanted, and I thought she was a goner, but she's not a goner. She actually put out a flower. Hello, Mary. Welcome to the neighborhood. I think she's much happier here than she was over there where she got almost full shade. So Dave has found what might be akin to, I don't know, the Pharaoh's tomb or maybe Al Capone's vault. So in a little bit, we're going to have the unsealing of the tomb and see what we find under there. I'm hoping not too many skeletons, and if we do find skeletons, let's hope no human ones.
Gold.
Gold? You're looking for gold. All right. And now that we have a tomb entrance on that side of the porch. That begs the question, what will we find when we take this shrub down? Will we find the back door to the tomb? Time will tell. By the way, guys, please don't take offense. Obviously, not a tomb, just a joke. Your tool's ready.
Yeah.
What are you using?
Crowbar.
What's that for?
Out of the way.
Pull the stone out of the way. Okay, I think it's a roof shingle.
Yeah, whatever. It looks thick.
I think it's a slate tile from the roof, but okay, we can call it a stone. And then what's the pickaxe for?
To kill anything that comes running out.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to stand back here and let you do the honor.
Perfect.
And the verdict is? It's just the underside of a porch?
I don't see any gold.
No gold? How about skeletons?
Nope.
All right, let's come take a look. There's nothing exciting under there.
I think there's another hole on the other side.
I think there is a hole on the other side. Oh, there's a big spider web. Hello. Yeah, I'm not crawling under there, but I don't see anything worrisome in there. Makes the dream work. By the way, my husband has a back injury, so if you're wondering why he's not doing more heavy pulling, that's why. So, yeah, that's a big one. Now we gotta do this other side of the porch, and a holly and a holly. Easy peasy. All right, so the next thing on the docket is to get this laurel cut back, get this, what is that? It's a double red knockout rose, this crepe myrtle shrub, and this wax leaf privet out of here. I'm going to work on these three while Dave works on the foliage of that. And I'm just going to set the camera up on time lapse and not going to talk in the middle of it. So let's just get this work done. Okay, that was a job. Whoever planted those laurels and privets put plastic landscape covering on top of them. And the plastic, here, I'll show you. I mean, it's like really strong and thick, totally impermeable. I have no idea how those shrubs ever got any water. This plastic is, I mean, it's thicker than a human hair. I don't know. It's sturdy. And it's covering the whole flower bed. So there's a theory that maybe it kept the basement from flooding because there has been water problems under here. But there's other ways to deal with water problems, like having good gutters, which we didn't until we fixed them. So anyway, we're going to try to get the rest of this black plastic up out of there. We have 2 more hollies to move today, and then a bunch of planting to do. The hollies, if they go like this, we're not saving them. We'll just have to see. Okay, so Dave is in there making lunch. Thank goodness, because I don't like to cook. This holly's staying, that holly we're taking out, and that holly we're taking out. So the one that's staying needs a haircut. I am sacrificing some holly berries. There are maybe, I don't know, 20 berries on here. I see 2 there and 3 there. But we already lost a lot of the berries because we did a prune after it flowered in the spring. So I'm actually going to shear this one down pretty low, and then it'll flush back out real quick before we get our first frost somewhere around the 1st of November. Definitely not perfect, but better than it was. Oh, now that we have this huge laurel out, and the huge old wax leaf privet, and the crepe myrtle, and the double knockout rose, now it's time to put in what the planting plan calls for. You may remember that we're going to have 4 Taylor junipers, which are awesome kinds of junipers in that they are about 2 to 3 feet wide at the bottom at maturity, but 15 to 20 feet tall. So we're going to put 1 each right here, kind of in that hole, right where this laurel was, and it'll go kind of up beside the roof in front of this shutter, roughly, but it can go all the way up to the gutters as far as I care, but it probably won't. But yeah, we'll put 1 of them here and 1 of them on the other side of this rhododendron, and then we'll do the same thing over there. 1 on the side of the porch and 1 on the corner of the house down there. So let me show you the junipers that we got. Now I looked around locally. I could not find a local nursery that carried Taylor junipers. So I wonder if that means that they don't do well here, or maybe it just means that they're not very common and people use skyrockets instead. So I'm hoping that it's the latter, that they're just not common, but they'll do fine. So I mail ordered them from fastgrowingtrees.com. I have had success with that company before, and I'm eager to use their plants in this application as well. Not sponsored. So let me show you my new junipers. Well, here they are. They have potential, we'll say that. I'm calling them Itsy, Bitsy, Teeny, and Weeny. Or maybe Eeny, Meeny, Miny, and Mo. Anyway, we're going to put 1 each of these on the either side of the porch and the corners of the house. So as far as today's work schedule goes, we still have 2 more hollies that we want to move and maybe save, but maybe not save, depending on how the root balls look. But honestly, I'm kind of tired right now and I would like an easy job. So I'm going to see about getting 3 of these into the ground real quick before we try to tackle the rest of those hollies. When you order trees from fastgrowingtrees.com, in my experience, they come very quickly. I think I placed my order on Sunday night and I got a notice that they were being shipped on Tuesday and we received them on Friday. That's pretty good. No, we received them on Thursday. Yeah, they shipped on Tuesday, we got them on Thursday. So that's really good, actually. They come nicely packaged in cardboard boxes, but inside the boxes, they are very sturdily arranged. They have plastic over the root balls, and they're nice and moist. So I, so far, have been very happy with fastgrowingtrees.com. I also got my fragrant tea olives from them, and I got my Chinese snowball viburnum in the backyard and the Eastern snowball viburnum that we have out here in the front. And all of the plants have been very healthy and performing very well. They're small. I mean, it's mail order. You're not going to get a nice big size tree from a mail order company. But if you're looking for something that you can't find locally, I do recommend that company. They seem to be doing pretty well. All right, so I chose one of the 4 that is the shortest. I mean, they're within inches of each other. They're not drastically different than each other, but I chose one of the shorter ones because our yard slopes down, and those are already going to start out looking shorter than these, just comparison on the house. So I just picked one of the ones that has a couple inches less height. We'll put the taller ones down on that end. I'm going to prepare the soil. I'm just using the native soil here. I'm not going to add anything. Actually, there's lots of nice, rich topsoil here. This is from, I guess, years of mulch being put on top of here all the time. I'm going to try to remove all the plastic, but I think all the plastic is gone from this area. And I'm going to use Biotone starter fertilizer to get these off to a great start. And yeah, I'm just going to try to line it up with about, I think I want the center of the trees to be about 4 inches in on this shutter. I think that's a nice center between the edge of the window and the edge of the roof of the front porch. This hole's already deeper than I need it to be. This is a small pot and a small root ball, so I don't need all that depth. And I also want to get rid of some of this. Oh, there's more than plastic. Ugh. So frustrating. One of the easiest planting jobs that we've done all season, but the prep was one of the hardest. This is the corner of the house, and I'm going to be putting one of these Taylor junipers right here. Now, I love this rhododendron, and I do not want to negatively affect that at all. So, also here I've been trying to grow a clematis up this tour, and it worked well for a couple of years, but lately, in the last couple of years, it hasn't been working. So I think I'm going to, well, first of all, just take this out. But I think I'm going to situate this Taylor juniper about right there. We have the downspout, and it's going into an underground pipe system. I might be digging in and finding that I have a pipe problem, so I'll have to work around that and see what I find. But I want this to be not precisely on the corner, but the stalk at the center of it about a foot out from the corner of the house. That's ideally where I want it. We'll see what the downspout drain allows me to do. As far as other plants in here, I do have some creeping jenny, some wild violets, and I think there's a eastern star aster here that is dead. So yeah, this is free reign for planting as far as that goes. All right, I'm very hopeful that this Taylor juniper will do very well in this location. It gets most pretty good afternoon sun, so I'm hoping that it'll do well. Now I've got 2 more to do on the other side of the house. Okay, next on the docket, see if we can move one of these hollies. Now, Dave has trimmed it back to make it a little bit easier to work up against, but it's very prickly and is probably as deeply rooted as the shrubs that were on the north side of the house. So if we have to sacrifice this to get it out, we're not gonna cry over that. We'll just do something different. Okay, well, we had a little bit of technical difficulty with my other camera, and so we didn't capture the entire part of taking out this holly, but we did get it out, and we kind of got it out with enough root ball that maybe we think it'll work to transplant it. Not exactly sure. And we're also having a discussion about the one that Dave's working on right now. I think let's just not try to save it. It's just too hard, in my opinion, to try to save these shrubs as they're so big, because you don't have any leverage to get your shovel down under the root ball when that whole canopy of branches and leaves are there. Whereas if you cut it down, then maybe you can get it to, you know, get it out a little bit easier with a little bit less work. So in my opinion, let's not try to save it. Dave thinks we can. We're gonna see how that goes. Anyway, here's what the one looks like that we took out. There it is. So I don't know if that root ball is gonna be enough to sustain it in its new location, but we are gonna go ahead and plant it here shortly and get it in the ground, and we'll see. Okay, so the placement of this juniper is going to be slightly different from the one on the other corner of the house. And here's why. This is where we have our hose reel, and I don't want to have this juniper like that, which would be analogous to that side, and then have this growing here, and then it's in the middle of where we use the hose reel. So I am going to slide this one over that way and put it right in front of the downspout, right in front of the corner. And that way we can still use the hose link freely without worrying about this tree. So you can see how much our yard slopes. At the other corner of the house, the ground level is right here at this sill of the foundation. But on this end, there's 2 feet from the top of the foundation down to the ground. 2 feet drop off across the house. It's crazy. 3 down, 1 to go. All right, so I'm getting ready to plant this holly bush into this hole, the one that just fell over. And so my method, which may or may not be correct, so if you know better than me, let me know. But my method is, we dug up, we saved as many roots as we could. I dug my hole, I watered my hole. I'm going to wait for this water to go down. Then I'm going to put biotone starter fertilizer in there. Then I'm going to set the root ball in there. Then I'm going to backfill with soil. Then I'm going to water it deeply. And that should be it. I don't think I'm missing anything. So let's just wait for this water now. I don't think my hole's deep enough. That's a bummer. If I allow it to lean like that, my hole's deep enough. So guess what? I'm going to allow it to lean like that. I'm going to let that soak in, come back at it in a half hour, backfill some more dirt, water it again, make sure it just gets really, really super settled. Okay folks, it is, I don't even know what time it is because my Fitbit has run out of batteries. That's how hard I've worked today. Okay, so it's late afternoon. I'm going to guess it's around 3:30, 4 o'clock. We've been working on this project since 9 o'clock this morning. We did not finish. We have one holly, the one that's by the front porch, that I think we should just cut down and take out, and Dave thinks we should try to move it. He's got it about half dug out, but it's been a long day. We're tired. It's hot up against the house, and we're gonna call it a day today. We'll come back after it tomorrow probably. But we made good progress. We got 2 leucothoes put in. I've got hydrangea taken out. I got the privet, the double knockout rose, and the crepe myrtle shrub taken out. We got 2 huge cherry laurels taken out. We got 1 holly taken out and transplanted. and we got another holly that's halfway done, and we got another one trimmed back, and then we got 3 out of the 4 Taylor junipers planted. We have one more holly to finish up, either removing it or transplanting it, and we have one more Taylor juniper to plant. And then of course I still have the Miss Kim lilac in the backyard that needs to come out here and get planted. I have 2, what are they, orange rocket barberries back there that need to be planted. And then I think I have perennials after that. Yeah, so we still have some work to do before we can say that we finished the project for this weekend, but we made significant progress this weekend, and I'm really, really pleased. Hey guys, so it's the next day and the weather is very different today. It's kind of cool, very humid, and off and on sprinkly rain. So my husband has gotten this holly out of the ground today. He got it mostly done yesterday, but we ran out of time, energy, and basically energy. So he finished it up this morning. So the plan is to plant it in the ground beside this other holly. So we'll have 2 right here. And then we'll put the Taylor juniper into place about right there. And so then I'll have all 4 Taylors planted. I'll have all the shrubs moved except for the beautyberry, which I'm going to leave in place until after it's done blooming. And after it goes dormant, then I'll move that one. So then I can put in the 2 orange rocket barberries that I have, the Miss Kim lilac that I have, and the one, I forget the name of it, but it's a new Rose of Sharon that's variegated with pink flowers on it. I'm not sure where that's going yet. That's why I'm not sure about that. And then I have a couple of cone flowers and some random things to stick in somewhere too. And then I'll have my weekend's planting done. I'm kind of under a rush to get them done, so I'm really happy that this is underway. Now, because it's off and on raining, and because this video is already pretty long, I'm not going to be putting this on camera or the 4th Taylor. I'm just going to get those in the ground, and I'll come back and show you everything after it's all done. Hey friends, I have finished planting that holly, and I got the other Taylor juniper in place. I am a hot mess. I've been working in the rain, etc., etc., etc. However, I'm really pleased to say this particular video's project is done because it resulted in getting all 4 of those Taylor junipers put into place. Finally, all the dominoes have fallen, and so yeah, let's take a look. All right, here we are. It looks pretty different. So there's some things I love, 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 like the new flower bed edge and the soft touch hollies there. And I do love the junipers. You can barely see first little guy over there. That's Eenie. And then this is Meanie. He's standing right here. And that's Miney. And Mo is over here. There he is. Or we could call him Itsy, Bitsy, Teeny, and Weenie. But I like Eenie, Meenie, Miney, and Mo better. Anyway, so I really love those. Here's the things that I'm just not sure about. First of all, the holly, this big one, it used to be the one that was on the corner of the porch right here. And it was the best, healthiest holly of all of them that we have in the yard. And the plan was to put it right beside this other one and kind of make a holly hedge. Now, here's, you see the problem. There's actually a few problems. First of all, size. They are not the same size. I'm going to either have to cut this one severely or let this one grow quite a bit more. But I really don't want to be covering up the dining room window like that. So I think I'm going to cut this one way back and let it reflush. I don't know when I'm going to do that. Not today, I can tell you that. The other problem here, this poor little guy, let's see, who is that? Eenie, Meenie. This is Miney, little Miney guy. He's situated symmetric with his friend over here. And that's good. But this holly may encroach on him too much. So I am not convinced about this holly being here, honestly. I wish that this holly were centered on the window and then I would only have one. Because on this side, because of the rhododendron, I ended up putting this holly centered on the window, although it doesn't look like it from here, but it is. It's centered on that window. So I don't know. So symmetry is kind of flying out the window because this little guy over here has plenty of room. I'm going to be able to put something around him. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know. And there's just not as much room over here to put something. There is room in front, but not beside. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. All right. Anyway, so that is what we're looking like, folks. It's better than it used to be. The removal of those two big laurels here, those big square things, that makes a big difference. And yesterday when the sun was shining out here, it was so hot because all this white stucco was reflecting so much light and so much heat. It made it really hot out here. So anyway, so this is where we are. I like it. I'm not convinced about that holly. That's the only thing. So I'm gonna live with it for a little while, think on it, and figure out what to do. It's the end of a massive work job. The end of a massive video, probably. I don't know how long this one's going to be. I apologize if it's pretty long, and thank you for hanging in there. There's more to come. I didn't get the barberries planted. I thought I would, but no, I'm going in. It's raining. I'm done. So I'm just grateful that we got so much done. I'm grateful to my husband who hurt his back further doing this work for me. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But I hope that you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I hope that your garden is giving you everything you want from it. And I will see you in another video very soon. Have a good day, friends. Bye-bye.